It's the Open Bedroom Doors Show.
I'm Angela Skurtu, and I open bedroom doors. Welcome to the Open Bedroom Doors Show. Real talk for real relationships. I'm your host, Angela Skurtu, your friendly neighborhood sex therapist and licensed marriage therapist. I started this show because, let's be real, most of us didn't get sex education. We're out here fumbling through love, intimacy, and awkward bedroom moments with zero guidance and a lot of shame. Time to fix that. If you're ready to laugh, learn, and finally talk about the stuff no one ever taught us, hit play. Let's open that bedroom door, shall we? What should you eat on a first date? Have you ever seen articles that tell you that? So welcome to Sex Positions. This is the Open Bedroom Door Show, and on this segment, what I like to do is judge things as a sex therapist that are happening in media and society that are related to sex. And I'm your resident sex therapist. Hey, I hate these articles that tell you what to eat on a first date. Let me tell you a story of my first date with my husband and how what I ate made him love me. So, I already knew my husband as a friend before this, and so this was our first date. And I remember we'd gone on a date to some African palace place, actually here in St. Louis. It's a pretty good place. I don't know if it still exists, but it was delicious. And I ordered this fish. And the fish, I could only eat so much of it, and then I took some home and put it in the fridge. So, of course, I spent the night because as a sex therapist, I need to know that you're good in bed. That's just baseline for me to date you. And now we're married. So he was good in bed. But the point is, I was sitting at the table. It was midnight. I'd woken up and I was hungry. And so I am literally aggressively eating a fish at his kitchen table. And he comes out and he says, "What is happening?" Like, he doesn't say it. He says this in his head, but he's like encroaching on me like I'm in my natural habitat. And he's like, "What? I don't know what she's doing, but I love it." He tells this story again and again, and I love this story because what I want to highlight here is these things that people say, like, don't eat this, do eat that. It's bullshit. Eat whatever you want. If you have a person who you're dating judge you for what you eat, if it's messy, do you even want to be with that person? Like, honestly, do you want to be with somebody who's like, "Oh, you ate spaghetti. Oh, you ate crab legs. Do you want to eat?" I'm going to ask you something. Do you want to eat crab legs in your future? Then frickin' eat crab legs now. Because you don't want to pick a partner who's going to judge you for eating crab legs. If you end up losing a date for crab legs, that person wasn't worth keeping. So that's all I have to say. F all those articles that tell you what to eat. You eat what you want, you be yourself, and you'll find the man of your dreams or the partner of your dreams, because it doesn't have to be a man. If you want a bed, guess what? We are filming our sex positions here at Mattress Dogs. This is a mattress furniture store, and I am thankful for Mattress Dogs for letting me do my sex positions event in bed. Use promo code SEXYTIME, and you can get your next bed here tax-free. We're always looking for sponsors. So if you would like to become a sponsor for the show or for the sex position segment, please go to openbedroomdoors.com and check out our sponsorship page. And we will, if you become one of our sponsors, we'll even let you pick the position. I have two very awesome guests today. One is Shane Michael and your colleague, Jade. We're just going to call you Jade. So Shane Michael is the founder and lead photographer of River Rose, a boudoir photography studio built on something much deeper than photos. What are some of the questions that you guys ask them as they're figuring out and trying to find out, you know, like what they're looking for? Like how does it
start?
Yeah.
Usually it starts with, I've been a member in your group for years now and just now finally decided it's my moment. But I always
they hide in the sidelines.
They hide in the sidelines.
Like, I see other women are doing this. This is a thing.
You know, and it takes the testimonials of those other women to really, you know, be able to relate. Okay. You know, at the end of the day, I'm still biased, you know, where you just want to sell boudoir photos. I mean, yes, that is the side of our business. You just want to see women naked. I bet there's a little bit of that too. I am so desensitized, you have no idea.
No, but I was thinking, you know, I could imagine some people, you know, like it's another side thing, but like I'm sure you have to deal with that a little bit of like
with
as a man in this
husbands
world.
with husbands and you know, people that don't have the education. I mean, if you ask certain men, they're like, oh, he must just get laid all the time. I've got 4 kids, been married for 20 years. I can't afford none of that dumb shit.
You don't have time to make that many women happy.
But the desensitizing is a real thing too. I mean, even though the way that we do things, so one of the questions that we always ask is, where is your modesty? You know, are you one, like, I'm not trying to show any more than ankles? Are you like trying to open up a OF and just don't give a shit? Like, where does your modesty really lie? Then based on that, we make some decisions. But even during the session, you know, we shoot implied. You know, I don't shoot explicit. I like to leave things to the imagination. I want to be able to see people try to look behind the image to catch a glimpse of something that they can't. But I will explain to her what pose I am looking for, which way I want things covered, and how I want it done. And I will either turn around or I will walk out of the room. Let her do what's been asked of her, and then she will bring me back in. I will get the shots. I will step back out. We move on to the next pose.
What's the experience like when he's doing that, like from the women?
I mean, most of them are very accepting of it because they will come in, and I will go to the extent of showing them the poses. I'm not going to ask you to do anything I can't do myself.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times where some of them can't, whether they've got a bad back, bad knees, and they're like, this, I can't do this. I'm like, all right, let's tweak this so it works for you. But most of the time they have absolutely no issues with it. You know, I ask consent, of course, you know, if I need to make adjustments or anything like that. And
you got to get the boobs in the right order. I know what's going on. This is when we adjust the tits.
Yes. And you know, we all want to get out of a speeding ticket, so we got to make sure the girls look good.
Yes. I'm more legs, as you guys can see.
But there's never really anyone, when you come to them, ask, you know, is this okay? Everything else, that aren't okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me stepping out isn't about my modesty. It's just being accepting of the fact that for a lot of these women, I am a stranger. I am a guy. I'm
it's
not their
respecting
husband.
that they need some privacy to figure it out.
But doing the way that we do things when our women go back to their significant other and they're talking about their experience, you'd be surprised at how many testimonials and thank yous I get from the husbands. Mm-hmm. You know, it actually eventually becomes, oh, you're going to see Shane? Mm-hmm. Ask him if he'll do this, and this.
Like, I want this angle. They're looking at it at home together, I'm sure.
But there's a lot of husbands that really do get super excited when their wives say, you know, I'm heading out to River Rose today. And that, I mean, that means everything to what we do. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, we still have some men that just, they're a little bit Neanderthal and don't quite get it, but decisions have to be made on a personal level from that point.
I could actually add some guidance here. I've had a few, so I'm the couples therapist. It's my job to help them get along with each other, right? And I've learned that a boudoir shoot is still a little bit of like a fringy thing, right? So like a lot of the people who, well, I don't want to make a judgment. Like you probably see people of a variety of different relationship styles, but I'm going to talk specifically about monogamous relationship styles in this context, right? So in monogamous worlds, the boudoir shoot is just a little on that fringe of like, all right, we're doing something, but like we're still monogamous, but there's a guy there. So what is it like? There's a way that people like, is this okay? Is this not okay? Like there's an anxiety. Like that's really what I'm creating there. And so when I talk to couples and their husbands about how to do this, what I try to get them to think about is like, what way would you like this to be something that adds to your relationship? Because where I've seen the hijinks, right? So one time it was actually a personal friend who she'd gotten this boudoir photo and she posted some of her photos on Facebook first. And it wasn't that for him that she couldn't post it on Facebook. It's that he just wanted to share it with them two first. He wanted something special. And so if you're a couple considering this, I'd encourage you to like talk to each other about like, okay, when you do this boudoir photo, like what would be nice ways to do this so that it feels like it's personal and special for us? And I don't think like boundaries are normal. Like everyone needs boundaries to feel safe and comfy. In some relationships, for example, they may not be as comfortable with posting on Facebook. And that's an okay boundary too, to have a discussion about. Now, you guys have a private Facebook group, so and it's mostly women posting and mostly women in the group.
It's all women in the group.
Okay, so it's all women. So I think there's even levels of that where it's like, all right, women just do women things. And I think some husbands are perfectly fine as long as it's in a women's group, right? But like if this was a situation where she blasted, and like obviously what was Facebook appropriate, but she blasted it on the public Facebook. So like there's just layers. And I don't think that's being a Neanderthal man. I think that's having different boundaries and levels of privacy that you may want to talk about. And so I just frame it with couples as like, why don't you guys discuss, like, what would you like it to be? How do you want it to be something special in your relationship? But also, I'm a believer in a woman owning her own body and having a right to decide what she wants for herself too. So even when I have those discussions with my couples, I'll get them thinking about, you know, like, okay, but what do you want this, how do you want this to be something that benefits her too? And like, I don't want boundaries to be a way that people are constricted or controlled either. And that is a fine line in my practice, FYI. I don't do it perfectly. I do my best.
When I say Neanderthal, I mean, what you're talking about are men that are in tune enough to have a conversation and accept what they can't control. Or at least
we'll say they're
feel they're appreciative to be included.
Yeah.
You know, when I say Neanderthal, I am talking about men or partners that can't get past losing that control.
Yeah, where they really are trying to control the situation.
You know, they're looking at their woman who has never given them a reason to think that they would be this. Oh, you just want to go get naked in front of a man. This is about sex. This is about attention. You know, I want this or I don't want that. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, they have no control. The minute a woman says, I'm done, I'm controlling myself, I am taking hold of my own life, their reign is over. And I have watched this change some women to really find their independence and leave controlling situations. And I'm all for it. I do not think that one person should be controlling the relationship. I think everybody has a benefit of what they bring to the table, and it needs to be checks and balances. Now, one thing that I always tell my clients, I will happily get on the phone with your husband at any point in time, with your partner at any point in time.
Will you bring them in the studio too? Some situations that makes them feel safer, but I don't know if some people are cool with it, others are not.
It's a gray area. And
Okay.
And this is why. We do shoot couples
This is
boudoir.
where we spice it up. I decided to bring it in. I did it. High fives, right?
If we're doing couples boudoir, obviously they're being included into all that discussion. But when we are looking at solos, like if you were just coming in on your own, I probably wouldn't want your husband or your partner there because I want you to have the ability to be 100% yours. I don't want you looking over for approval. I don't want you constantly worried about, ooh, is he going to be okay with this? I need you to be unapologetically yourself. Mm-hmm. You can bring a hype person. I want you to bring that one friend that's going to be screaming, yeah, bitch. Like, you know, like that's the energy that we want to bring. You want your cheerleaders, and I need you to feel safe. I want you to feel safe, and we will accommodate whatever we can to make sure that that environment is completely at peace for you. And there has been situations where we've had conversations with husbands. I like the vibe from them, and I'm like, you know, absolutely come with her and attend on this.
So you're really vetting them. Like if they're cheerleaders, then you're like, yeah, of course, come. But like if you can see that they're in that controlling space, then there's a little bit of interference you're playing.
Exactly.
Gosh, there's so many couple dynamics like this. So yes, to your point, I really want to help people have emotionally intelligent conversations where they're setting boundaries and like being comfortable with an experience like this. Because boudoir is still a fringy thing for most monogamous couples, right? But if they can approach it with like a sort of like, hey, no, I want you to feel good in yourself and I want you to do this for you. And there are situations where a guy can come and be that cheerleader that it becomes a really beautiful thing. Because of course, in some of these situations, you are doing it because you want to be pretty for him or for your partner, because it's not always a him, right? But that's so interesting that you know, I mean, I could definitely see if it's like an abusive relationship or if it's clearly controlling where you're like, no, sorry, you don't get to come. It's just about her. But like that's got to be challenging too. I mean, what do you notice? Like, like does the partner fight a little bit or get pissy? Do they end up not getting the picture? You know, like what happens?
You have to know people. You can't do what we do and not know how to read people. You know, with me being an empath, it really allows me to dive into emotions, and I follow my gut on situations. You know, some men are really, really good at hiding stuff. And I say men, and I really want to generalize partners in general.
Yeah.
This isn't just, you know, all men are bad. I definitely don't want to bash on any of them. But there is certain demeanors that we give across and certain questions that can be asked by men that are going to let you know, are they really here to support their woman in this? Or are they really just here to make sure that they've got to micromanage on the situation?
Yeah.
And if you really want a powerful woman, let her be. Let her find her own. Let her go through this experience. Now, I say this, and we talk about the good. Not all photographers do what we do. There is a great number that are very experienced in what they do. And there are others that are just in it for the money. So anybody that's thinking about doing boudoir, whether it's with us or whoever, do your homework. Read the reviews. Don't be afraid to reach out to previous clients. Don't be afraid to really take a deep dive, because this is your safety. This is your journey. And one bad hiccup can f it all up.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And, you know, if you are in one of those relationships, this is the hard thing. So like, there are people who are across the spectrum. Some people who have higher emotional intelligence, some people who are learning. I work with a lot of people who are learning. That's my job. So I guess I want to speak a little bit to the micromanaging piece. Micromanaging comes from anxiety. Really, it's like when you have anxiety, you either over control or you avoid. Those are the two oscillations that people do when they're anxious. And so when I'm working with a client who's any gendered person who's like micromanaging, I look for the anxiety. And when couples can have good conversations about like, here's what I'm worried about, but this is what this is really about, like what we're doing, we're like opening the bedroom door essentially to like, or the boudoir door, right? of like, no, like this is about women's empowerment and feeling good in your skin and just feeling confident. Like, then that can calm some of the nerves of like, is this just you getting a picture from a guy, or is this you trying to leave me? Or you just getting these pictures that like, there's anxiety that exists that people don't even know that they have. And so I really, when I work with people who have that, my first thought is like, okay, let's address the anxiety. And what you'll find is when you reassure and like they have these good conversations around it, that actually the anxiety was a little bit unfounded, but it's because you don't know what's going on. And so being able to hear you two talk about like what this process is like and what women are getting out of it, I think would really help a lot of people to like soothe that anxiety.
We've definitely got it down to a science. And I mean, we always open it up to be able to speak with the partners as well, because it is much about them. It's one thing coming as a single woman trying to discover yourself and all that. Like, we have a whole different approach when it comes to that. But when it comes to women that naturally say, oh, you know, my husband's getting ready to turn 50. I think this would be a great gift. Okay. Have you guys ever had a conversation about you doing this before?
Yeah, the surprise boudoir session can cause some harm.
What was his reaction? I mean, at the end of this, do I need to pretend to be gay? Like, what do we need to do here to open up this communication? Well, I really want to leave it be a surprise. Okay, not a problem at all. Oh, he's extremely supportive of this. Like, cool. We're going to carry on to this conversation. Now, we can say it's for him, but 80% of this process is still for you.
Yeah.
Whether you realize it or not, you come in doing it as a gift for your man. That's great. I support you completely, and he is going to really appreciate it. But this is still 80% at least for you. Yeah. Now, I will say that we do have an ongoing joke in our group that if you get laid at least 3 times as a result of our shoot, we automatically get Christmas cookies at the end of the year. And we get a lot of cookies.
Well, so you've heard it from them. If you want to get laid, boudoir.
Yeah.
Well, we're towards the end of the episode, so I always like to give you guys a chance to give like a little bit of, and I'll let you both do one, right? So like, what's a little bit of advice you'd give to the listeners?
I'd probably say take the shot. If you're thinking about doing anything, why not try it?
I like it.
For me, I'd say there's enough to be afraid of out there. this shouldn't be one of them. You know, and everything else that you've dealt with, being a mother, being a wife, being a spouse, and being a survivor, this is going to be the simplest thing that you've done, even though it feels like it could be the most intimidating. But we all know, I mean, change can be scary. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad.
And where can they find you?
River Rose Boudoir by Shane Michael on Facebook or through Shane Michael Studios.
Want to spice up your sex life? Then be sure to pick up a copy of my new book, From No to Yes Sex. Tired of routine sex? Feeling more like roommates than lovers? Wondering where the passion went or if it was ever really there? You're not alone. And guess what? You don't have to settle for a sex life that's just meh. Better sex doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts in your head. And from no to yes sex, I'll help you break free from shame, outdated beliefs, and unspoken frustrations that have been keeping you stuck. When you change the way you think about sex, you change the way you show up for sex. And that's where the magic happens. This book will help you understand why you're not getting the sex you crave. Rewire negative thoughts about sex, your body, and desire. And finally, learn how to communicate what you actually want in bed. You'll stop treating sex like an obligation and start wanting it again. No shame, no fluff, just straight talk and strategies, and a whole lot of yes moments. Yeah! This is the first book in my Open Bedroom Doors book series, where we strip away the awkwardness and build a foundation for lasting passion. Whether you're in a long-term relationship that's lost its fire or just tired of going through the emotions, this book is your invitation to transform your love life one thought at a time. Don't wait. Order now. That's too spicy. Well, guys, on the Open Bedroom Doors show, we often have content that's a little too spicy for your typical social media platforms. So for those of you who are like, I love everything Angela Skurtu and I want to know all the spicy details, we actually have a space where we put the uncut shows, and it is at patreon.com/openbedroomdoors. So you can subscribe to that channel and get all the behind the scenes, all that spicy stuff that I wasn't able to put in the show. That's too spicy. So I hope you can join me at patreon.com/openbedroomdoors. Keep in mind, that is how you support me. So it is a subscription channel where you have to pay to subscribe, but you are becoming a supporter of me and putting out this awesome content as a result. So please join me for those spicy, spicy things. I'm Angela Skurtu, and on every show I answer one of your sex questions. Joining me as always are my BDSM bears, Barry Bonds and Consent Cub. If you'd like to have your questions answered on the show, please submit a question in the comments below, or you can submit a contact form at my website, openbedroomdoors.com. Today's question is actually from a female asking, why can't I orgasm during sex? And it's so interesting. For women, it can be very different. So I do have my vulva puppet close by. If you want to get one of these, it's vulvapuppet.com. And I will say that one of the challenges is women aren't getting clitoral stimulation. So I want you to see this. Actually, I'm going to put my BDSM bears down so you can really see what's going on. Clitoral stimulation is right here under the hood of this vulva puppet, but this is representing an actual vulva. And if you are having penetrative sex and expecting to get an orgasm that way, you're probably not going to get one that way. Some women can when they're younger. Some women can. There's actually a rule of thumb. So if your clitoris is within a thumb's length of the opening of the vagina or less, then sometimes because his penetration does hit your clitoris better, then you may get orgasms during penetration. But that's only like 20% of women or less that have that little variation. So for the rest of you, what you need is other things to get that clitoral stimulation, like oral sex, vibrators, fingering. And here's the other thing too. Some of the reasons some of you aren't getting orgasms is because you're going to the vagina too quickly, actually. If when you have sex, you only like kiss or touch for like a minute and then he's going straight to your vagina, guess what? That's too quick. That's not comfortable. If you take your time, kiss more, do more full body massage and stimulating, really slow down the sexual process, get your mind in the game, start looking at and listening to your body in terms of how long it even takes you to get into that mindset. Some women take an hour or two to even get mentally in the mindset to be potentially interested in sex or intimacy. So if you guys are going straight from having kids and doing the kid stuff to, all right, let's get in here and let's do the sex thing, it just may not be good for your mind-body connection to get to an orgasm that quickly. And I really want you to honor your body for how it works naturally. So it might look like having a different conversation with your partner about what you need to actually enjoy sex. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of the Open Bedroom Doors Show. Real talk for real relationships. If you laughed, learned, or blushed a little, you're welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend who needs a little more real talk in their life. Got a burning question about sex, love, or relationships? Check out openbedroomdoors.com and submit a contact form. Your question might just be featured in the future Happy Ending segment. Until next time, keep it honest, keep it sexy, and most of all, keep those bedroom doors open. Good night and have a sexy tomorrow.